Hello, hello. Hello. This is week 2 of the Millionaire Project, where you watch a normal, lower middle class raised, blue collar working mill worker become a millionaire. And I will make at least one video a week until I am a millionaire. Why does this mill rat even think he has a chance at this? Because I had another dream to create a successful YouTube channel, and I did it. All right? It took me over 4 years, but now I have a YouTube channel that has, any day now, it'll be hitting 300,000 subscribers. So I know what it's like to chase a dream, to make it happen, even when you grew up around people who don't believe in dreams, didn't have goals, did drugs and drank alcohol, okay? So if you are someone like me who's coming from a normal family, okay, from a crappy town where people just think the height of life is to get a decent job, but you want bigger and better, you're in the right place. Here I'll be sharing my journey, telling you guys what's been going on, the things that I've achieved week to week, and the things, most importantly, that I have learned that you can apply to your journey too. And hey, if you learned something interesting this week, share it in the comments, because maybe what you learned is what I need to hear. Maybe what I learned is what you need to hear, all right? The most important thing is bouncing ideas off of other people. Sometimes you'll find a really good one doing that. So guys, this last week, let me tell you where I'm at. I crunched some numbers more properly, and I wasn't thinking last time, but my house has appreciated quite a good deal in the last year, along with everything else. So with my equity in the home, with my 401k, and with my small little investments in my Schwab account, conservatively, my net worth is around $67,000. I'm not counting the little $3,000 that I have in my checking account, because that can go like this. So my net worth is $67,000 as of today. So that means I need to 10x and some change. And hey, that's what I'm gonna do. And like with my YouTube channel, guys, I don't care if it takes me 4 years. Let's see, what would that be? So maybe in 4 years, I'll be like, week 160, blah, 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 170, blah, 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 180. We finally did it, guys. All right. Progress I've made over the last week, money-wise. I made, of course, with my channel, AdSense. Let's see, I made probably about $200 because it says I'm on track to make $800 this month. So let's say $200 from my videos on my other channel, ads, Google ads. And that's because I haven't had any really big hits lately. My videos have been averaging between 10 and 20, 30,000 views a piece, which is really good for where I came from, okay? Now I'm spoiled and I'm like, man, I've hit like videos with close to 1 million views. Why is this one only getting 10,000? But I need to just be grateful for that 10,000 and be grateful that people around the world are watching me. They leave me the nicest comments. I teach English there, if this is the first time you're watching me, to people all around the world. So it means a lot that I'm helping people and making money. So $200 from that. I got paid $118 for my product, my digital product, for the week. And that's been pretty consistent. So it's looking like before it grows, it'll be extra $100 a week. So that's super cool, at least. And I'm hoping that will grow exponentially. Other money I've made, I have, that collaboration with the language learning app called Sprout, and last month they paid me $86. So that's growing every day as well. So probably $30 for the week through them. But you never know, because I don't know what that's doing until I get paid the next month. So the only other money news, guys, is that I found a way to sneak away $50 from my checking and put it into my Schwab account, my personal investments account. And I bought SCHD, which is a dividend paying fund. I really like that one. And I invest in the S&P 500 for growth as well. But I'm highly interested in this SCHD because it's a form of income later. If I could get, 500,000-600,000 in that, that'd be a nice chunk of change coming in quarterly. All right, now to the important part. What I learned this week. I mentioned in the last video that I have a newborn, beautiful baby girl. And she is like 10 days old now. So it's been a rough week. My wife and I have not been sleeping, but we're doing our best. So unfortunately, reading has been almost out of the question. Meditating has been almost out of the question. But I have been able to finish an audiobook that I was working on. And that's what I'm going to share here, what I learned from that, because I think it is huge, huge. And this book is especially huge for guys like us, okay? Normal upbringing, maybe lower class upbringing, And I'm going to share with you guys what I learned from that and some of the things I've been working on internally. Because the financial journey, guys, you're going to have to learn a lot about money, but you're going to have to learn more about yourself. That's what I'm finding anyway. So the book is called The Gap and the Gain, okay? And basically, the gap, when you're in the gap, you are in lack. You're seeing the things you don't have that you want, okay? If I'm in the gap, I'm saying, why do I only have 300,000 subscribers on my other channel? Why don't I have 500,000? That's being in the gap. Being in the gain is seeing the things that you have gained, the things you have now that your old self did not. If I'm in the gain, which I am right now, I'm looking that tomorrow I might hit 300,000 subscribers, and I'm like, yeah, baby, 300K. I worked hard for this. I'm making money now. That's being in the game, okay? So highly recommend this book, guys. The audio book was like 5 hours, so you could for sure knock this out in a day if you wanted to read it. And I learned a lot of important things. The most important thing that I've been reflecting on, guys, is to not be jealous of what other people have. Focus on how much you have personally grown, okay? And guys, now that I'm getting into the upper echelon of YouTubers, it's hard not to be jealous sometimes. It's hard not to see somebody make a stupid video and get 1 million views, and you spent an hour, or a week planning a video that actually helps people and it gets 10,000, So it's really hard to look at these people who are making garbage slop and, making 10, 15 times the money that you are. But you also have to keep something in mind, okay? And this is something, honestly, that I've had to work on a lot in my life, jealousy. And I think that comes from never getting what I wanted growing up, I begged for a video game. Oh, we couldn't get it. We don't have the money for that. Stuff like that. So you always want what other people have. Now, I've worked on this a lot, and I don't want to be that way at all. So instead of seeing somebody killing it on YouTube and being in the gap and thinking, oh, I'm better than them, I'm smarter than them, I'm funnier than them, blah, 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 excuses, excuses, excuses. If you were in the game, you'd be grateful for what you've already learned, and you would look at what they're doing, and maybe there's something you could take from it, okay? Maybe they are a slop farm making garbage content, but I bet they have good thumbnails, or I bet they have an awesome editor, or they're filming with an awesome camera. Something they're doing is working, right? So instead of being a hater, see what you can learn, all right? And another thing, guys, this is especially important for guys like us, okay? If you're a lady and you're watching, you're a hard worker or you're the wife of a hard worker, whatever reason you're here for. When I say guys, I mean whoever's watching you, okay? So people like us, I'm assuming, who grew up in the we don't have money for that type of, upbringing. Well, it's super important for us not to look at somebody who's doing really good and get jealous, okay? Because something I've learned by meeting a lot of these people is a lot of times they had something you didn't, okay? Maybe they had parents who actually paid attention to them and loved them and instilled in them a sense of worth, okay? Maybe their dad had a business, so they have a cake job and they could spend all their time focusing on their content, okay? A lot of the people who are really killing it are full-time on their content, all right? I do this stuff after 12 hours of work, after a 12-hour midnight shift. It's not fair to compare myself to them. But let me tell you the most important thing, guys. Don't start looking for excuses either, like, oh, it's because he's full-time in this. It's because she had a dad with money, okay? Sometimes people are just doing better, all right? And you only need to worry about doing better than you did last week, all right? The only person you are competing with is the old you. If you can beat them, hey, that's all anybody could ask for. All right, let me show you the practical exercises that I've been doing from the Gap in the Game. So this one I really like. I read a book called The Gratitude Jar, which is basically you write down the things you're grateful for every day and you train your brain to start looking for the good stuff instead of the things that you don't have. This is a very similar exercise. Every night before bed, you write down 3 wins from that day. And guys, these little notebooks are super cool. I write down anything I learn or quotes that I hear that inspire me. Maybe I'll read you guys one. But you write down 3 wins from the day. Even if it was the crappiest day of your life, you find 3 wins, okay? You got in a car accident, your car's totaled, but you're fine. One of these wins, I made it out. I walked away from what could have been a deadly accident, okay? But most days, you can for sure find some wins. So, let me tell you what I wrote last night. Today's wins, I write that and I write 1, 2, and 3. I had a great time with a great friend. One of my friends who I don't get to see very often. He lives about an hour away. He drove over here to meet my baby girl and hang out with my wife and I. We had a wonderful time. One of the best people I know. Super good dude. That was a huge win because spending time with someone you care about and someone who cares about you and your family, this guy's like a brother to me. So that's good for your soul. That's a win. Win number 2, filmed and posted a new video to the new channel. I posted one yesterday, all right? That's a win. I haven't even looked. And side note, guys, I'm not editing these videos. I'm not going to be spending a bunch of time. I'm just dropping and moving on with my life on this channel because my other channel is a full-time job. But I'm planting these seeds, okay? And I know one of them is going to hit. One of them is going to bring me something. One of them is going to bring me an opportunity. So I have faith in that. And if not, even if none of these ever hit more than 100 views, guys, guess what? This is like a journal for me, and it helps me to organize my thoughts. So it's a win-win-win. Number 3, I went for a walk with my girls. I took my wife and my daughter on a walk. It was my wife's first walk since giving birth, so I'm grateful for that. My wife looks great. She does not look like she just had a baby 10 days ago, so I'm grateful for that as well. So after that, you write tomorrow's wins, okay? And this is how you set yourself up to try and get a jump on your next day, So I put do something fun with my son. And I always do fun stuff with him, guys, but I want to make a point to always be intentional about being a good father. I put, be kind to my mom. Guys, you don't know how difficult this one is for me sometimes. I went over to my mom's today, and she starts talking about how they're going to foreclose on her house and blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that it was all a misunderstanding, some letter she got. So it's really hard for me because every time I see her, it's negativity like that. I care about her, and part of the reason I'm doing all this is because I want to take care of her and, basically buy her freedom before she passes away and set her up to where she doesn't have to worry in her last years. But right now, it's super stressful for me to, be around somebody who's got that negative mindset. And I know it's not her fault. She comes from poor people. That's the only mindset she knows. She doesn't understand the mindset that I've developed. She's never been around somebody like that. And, the me of 10 years ago would think this me's crazy too, so I can't blame her. And my last one is fall asleep visualizing my goals. And guys, I talked about manifesting yesterday. Whether you believe in that or not, visualizing before bed is one of the best things I've ever done. You get these thoughts in your mind right before you fall asleep, and your mind keeps on working them. And believe me when I tell you, sometimes you'll wake up with a killer idea. It's crazy, guys. But hey, try it. Lay down, wait until you're in that drowsy state, and see yourself doing what you want to do, what you're trying to achieve. See it happen. That will stew in your mind overnight, and you'll never know what kind of crazy benefits that might bring. All right, so I also did that for the week, the wins from this week. So, number one, we've done our best to adjust to being new parents. It sucks, guys. It's hard. We're not sleeping, but we're trying our best. And I'm proud that my wife and I are working together as a team. A lot of times we'll cover each other so the other one can sleep. I take the night shift with my baby girl, so I'm getting a lot of bonding time out on that couch as well. I'll be feeding my baby girl a bottle and watching The Office. Number two, I made $118 from my product. Guys, I made that product a month ago, and it's still working for me. Number three, I made 3 videos on a new channel. That's a win. That's 3 seeds planted. That's 3 lottery tickets bought. For next week, I'm going to continue eating in moderation. So the last couple days, guys, I've been really good about not eating too much. Honestly, guys, I'm getting fatter than I want to be. All right. Let's see, I'm 34 now. 6 years ago, I had a 6-pack. I was doing jiu-jitsu 3 times a week, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I was regularly running between 3 and 10 miles and going to the gym. I was in awesome shape. Now, I've got enough money to eat really good food, but not enough money to have a personal trainer, if you get what I'm saying. So I do go to the gym, but I eat a lot of good food, guys. And on my other channel, I cook really good dishes from around the world. So, yeah, got to get in money gut. But I'm trying. Win number 2 for next week, get more sleep. I want to be more intentional about both giving my wife more sleep and helping her to help me get some more sleep as well. And number 3, try and film for the main channel. I haven't filmed for the main channel since my wife gave birth. We worked really hard. My wife is my camera person. We worked really hard to film several videos and have a long backlog so that we could kind of coast through the first few weeks of getting ready with, getting used to my baby girl. But I haven't been able to film because the videos I make for my main channel are much more involved, okay? They take longer. I do cool shots, so I have not been able to do that with my daughter because my wife is my camera person and I haven't been able to sneak away. So I've been making videos on this channel because I come down to my basement, sit down, push play, and that's it. All right, guys, that is my week's progress, the gap in the gain. Remember, guys, when you feel yourself focusing on the negative, you are in the gap. Get in the gain. Be grateful for the things you have that you didn't have last year. All right, and even if shit is hitting the fan and bad things are happening, find the lesson in it. There's a gain to be found in everything. All right? All right. See you guys next week.